Hey guys, this is CD, and today's Leetcode problem is check if there is a valid partition for the array. And they have given you an array, and you have to partition this array in a valid manner into contiguous subarrays. They have given you three conditions to check if it is valid or not, whether the partition is valid or not. The first condition is you can have exactly two equal elements, and the second condition is you can have exactly three equal elements, and the fourth condition is when you are considering three elements, it should be in consecutive increasing order. So I'll be showing you an example. In this, you can see there are two equal elements, right? And there are three equal elements. And you cannot consider three equal elements, because when you consider three equal elements, this will become false, because even though it is in increasing order, there is a condition where there should be three increasing consecutive elements. So this will become false. So you'll be taking 2, 3 and 4, and then you'll be taking these two equal elements. So now the array has become valid, right? So this is how it works. Now, as we use the logic where we'll be iterating from reverse order, I'll be using the same when I'm approaching in the code. Okay, and for this I'll be using dynamic programming, and we'll start with that. So initially I'm getting the length of the array, and I'll be using a boolean because I'll be returning whether it's true or not, right? So I'll be using boolean. Size will be n plus 1, and you have to set dp of n is equal to true, because n is the length of the array, which is at the end, which is the end. So when there is a condition where there are no more elements left to check, we'll be setting dp of n is equal to true. So now I'll be iterating from reverse order as we use that logic. And yeah. Now, when we are checking for two elements, whether the two elements are equal or not, we'll be using I plus 1, right, for checking the next element. When we are checking with next element, we should also check that it should not exceed the length of the array. Okay, so for that I'm using this if condition where it is not exceeding the limit, the array's limit. And now I'll be getting into the condition checking, where the first element should be equal to the next element. Nums of I should be equal to the next element, which is the two elements should be equal, right? So I plus 1. And I also use another condition where you'll be using dp of I plus 2 is equal to true. Only when if dp of I plus 2 is equal to true, the partition will be taken into consider. Okay, the same condition I'll be using while I'll be checking with three elements, because that is taking account whether it is valid or not. When that is not true, then it is not valid. Okay, so next I'll be checking with three elements. For that I'll be using, I made a mistake here, it is I plus 1. Yeah, so that is for checking the next consecutive elements. For this I'll be using two elements, right? So I'll be using if I plus 2, your limit will be exceeding till I plus 2, so that should not exceed the length of the array. So this is next if condition. Okay, one second. Yeah, and inside that you'll be checking the same, whether the first element is equal to second element, and the second element should be equal to the third element. So I'll be checking here. Okay, if nums of I equal to the next element, I plus 1, and this element should be equal to the third element. So again, nums of I plus 1 equal to nums of I plus 2, right? So I have checked whether the three elements are equal. Now we'll be using another OR condition whether it is in increasing order. Like we are considering three elements at a time. I'll be checking the both conditions whether it is three elements are equal or it is in increasing order. So I'll be using OR condition, and for this OR condition again I'll be checking with the elements where nums of I plus 1 should be equal to the next element, right? One second. Equal to nums of yeah, and the same way we'll be checking with the next element. Yeah, so after checking these things, in previous thing we have checked whether the partition is valid or not. Like we checked whether the dp of I plus 2 is true. So for here we'll also be using dp of I plus 3 is valid or not. So only these conditions have passed, we can take into account that the partition is valid. Okay. Yeah. Now, if these conditions have passed, it means that dp of I will be true. Like we'll be setting that equal to true. Okay. Now, after these things, I'll be returning. So this will tell whether it is true or false. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it has passed. Yeah, all the test cases have passed. If you find any difficulties while solving this problem, you can reach me out in the comment section.